Good morning, students. Students, today we are going to start a poem from the book Honeysuckle. This is the second poem we are going to do after A House of Home. The name of the poem is The Kite, and it is written by Harry Benn. Students, you must all have seen kites. Many of you must have flown it also. Many of you wish to learn to fly it. And when we see it in the sky, we feel very happy. We feel like birds flying in the sky. Some of us also feel like how it will feel if we will fly in the sky just like the kite. So there are different emotions attached to the flying kite. Here Harry Benn, the poet of this poem, has also explained his views, his emotions, his thinking, his imagination regarding a flying kite. Before moving forward with the recitation and description of the poem, let us first know something about the poet. As I told you, the poem is composed by Harry Benn. As you can see, I have also written a small description about Harry Benn. So let us read. Harry Benn was an American screenwriter and children's author. He was born on 24 September 1898 in Arizona, United States. He published his first book of poetry named Siesta in 1931, and at the urging of his children began writing children's books. So as you can see, Harry Benn was an American who used to write screenplays for the plays and dramas, and due to the urge of his own children, he started writing books for children. And also in those books, he also started writing different poems, of which the first collection of his poem was Siesta. So this is about Harry Benn, who has written the poem The Kite. Now let us first learn to recite the poem correctly. Students, please listen it very nicely, because recitation of poem is very much important in proper intonation, proper meter, and in a proper rhyming way, so that it becomes interesting for the listeners to listen it. So let's start. The kite. How bright on the blue is the kite when it's new. With a dive and a dip, its nest stays. There soars like a ship with only a sail, as over tides of wind it rides. Flies to the crest of a gust and pull, then seems to rest as wind falls. When string goes slack, you wind it back and run until a new breeze blows. And its wings fill and up it goes. How bright on the blue is the kite when it's new. But a regular thing you never will see when it flaps on a string in the top of a tree. So this is the way we need to recite the poem with correct intonation and rhythm. And students, when you will learn this poem, you will learn this proper intonation and rhythm only. Okay? Now let us start with the description of the poem. As the first few lines start, how bright on the blue is a kite when it's new, with a dive and a dip it snaps its tail. So the poet creates an imagination. It tries to create a picture of a kite flying in a blue. Blue here means a clear sky. When a new kite or a flying kite that is flying for the first time in the sky, it looks very, very bright and beautiful for the people who is seeing it from the earth. And the sky, which is very clear, makes the view of the flying kite very beautiful, very pretty. It snaps with a dive and a dip. It snaps its tail. As the kite starts flying, it dives and dips, and it snaps its tail. Means here dive and dip. That is, it goes up and down. The movement of the kite in the air is shown with dive and dip. And snaps means the sound made, the cracking sound made by the kite. So while it is flying with a dive and dip, it makes a crackling sound with the tail of the kite. Then soars like a ship with only a sail, as over tides of wind it rides. Now the poet just tries to compare the kite with the ship that sails on the sea. He says that then soars like a ship with a sail, as over tides of wind it rides. Now soars here means to fly upward in the air. Now just like the ship, as it sails through the waves, the kite also flies in the sky with only a sail. Here you can see the boat and the ship has a cloth-like structure which helps the wind to push the boats and ship move forward. In the same way, the poet says that just like the ship, the kite also sails like a ship, as over tides of wind it rides. And as the ship sails on the tide, the kite also sails in the wind, in the air that is flowing in the sky. Climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. Now, while flying and flying and flying, the kite starts climbing to the crest. Crest means the topmost part of the, here we can say the topmost part in the sky. As we can say, while comparing to the ship, the topmost part of the kite. So the kite climbs to the topmost part due to the strong wind and the pull of the user, the flyer. The person who is flying, they continuously just pulls and loosens according to the blow of the wind, so that the kite can fly very smoothly to the topmost part. So, climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. So with the wind blowing, very strong wind blowing, and the push and pull of the string of the flyer, the kite reaches to the topmost part. But suddenly, when the wind starts falling, that is, the speed of the wind slows down, the kite also coming downward. When string goes flat, you bend it back and run until a new breeze blows. Now again the poet is saying that as the wind falls, the speed of the wind goes slow and the string, the dhaga, goes flat, that is to become loose. So as the flying kite starts to fall, the string becomes loose. So you wind it back. So what we do? We hold the winder and just start pulling and winding the string and run until a new breeze blows. And the flyer just runs here and there until a new wind, a new breeze, a slow moving wind, that is breeze, starts flowing, so that again the kite can move upward. And its wings fill and goes and up it goes. As soon as a new breeze blows, with the help of the flyer, again the kite starts moving upward. How bright on the blue is the kite when it's new. So, it's a lovely scene, a beautiful picture to see when this new kite flies in the clear sky and it looks very bright and beautiful. But again, in further lines, the poet is trying to give us an image of a different kind of kite. Now let's see what he wants to say. But a raggeder thing you never will see when it flaps on a string in the top of a tree. Here raggeder means torn, worn out, put out. But a raggeder thing you never will see when it flaps on a string in the top of a tree. Now while flying the kite, sometimes it gets stuck in the top of the tree. Nowadays we can also see different buildings that coming in the way of the kite and it gets stuck somewhere. So as the kite gets stuck in the top of the tree, it gets torn due to the leaves and branches, because when we are trying to pull it, it gets torn up, worn up. So the look of the kite changes when it gets stuck as it gets teared up. So students, this was the description of the poem in which the poet Harry Benn has drawn the picture of a life of a kite when it starts flying in a bright blue sky. Then he compared it with the sailing ship, means he compared the flying kite with that of a ship that is sailing on the tide. Then it describes the different position of the kite when the speed of the wind either fastens or slows down. And at last he describes the last point, the end time of a kite when it gets torn due to getting stuck in a tree. So basically we can see through his words, he is trying to persuade us, he is trying to make us imagine the life of a kite. So I hope students you have understood the description properly.